It's Monday, the 30th of April, 2018, and welcome to Navigating Your Day. In Jinshin-Jyutsu, safety energy lock number 3 came into the universe meaning the door, or understanding, the defense against discomforts. So my understanding of that is that it is a door that lets nourishment in and waste out. And the understanding is in understanding what it is that we really want, what it is that we need in order to nourish ourselves, and the strategy that we can put in place in order to get that. So that's the understanding that there are things that we need in order to be whole or fulfilled, and there are things that we don't need. And there are times in our lives when certain things serve us, and then there are times in our lives when they no longer serve us, and which is when we have to open the door and let them go. And it's the defense against discomforts, because it actually allows that door to swing, to let the nourishment in and the waste out. And when we are doing that effectively, then we have fewer discomforts. So that's safety energy lock number 3, and it's located over, if you put the heel of your hand on your top of your trap, where your fingers are, just at the inside tip of your shoulder blade, that is where safety energy lock number 3 is. So you can hold safety energy lock number 3 with, what am I doing it? I'm doing it with my right hand, so I'm holding my left one. And then you can take your left hand and you can slide it under your sitting bone to hold safety energy lock number 25. Or, if that's too uncomfortable for you, you can just make a ring with your thumb and your ring finger to hold safety energy lock number 3 and help to open that. And to keep that door of understanding, it's to keep those hinges oiled effectively. So 3 is a fire number. 3 is the strategist. 3 is about setting long-term goals and formulating a strategy to get there. 3 can see where they're going clearly and know what they have to do in order to get there. So that's the gift of the 3 today, and that's the energy that we can connect with on this last day of April. Of course, the 4 is the visionary. It's the one that allows us to see the big picture. So if you can set a long-term goal and put a strategy towards reaching it, 4 helps you see how that goal fits into the bigger picture of your life. So your goal may be to, I don't know, lose 10 kilograms, which is a goal, which obviously is a goal, right? It's a goal. You may have a strategy on how you're going to go about doing that. And then once you've reached that, then that goal is reached, right? So 4 helps you to see how it's going to have a ripple effect when you lose the 10 kilograms in terms of your increased health, your increased vitality, maybe your increased confidence. Maybe you'll be, because you're more confident, you'll be connected to people more, or you'll be happier to connect to people, which means that, I don't know, it might deepen your relationships, whatever. That is the big picture vision, which is beyond the you're going to weigh 10 kilograms less. So that's what 4 can help us to connect to. Of course, we have the 2 from 2018, and that helps us to keep in balance. It helps us to keep the goal in mind, to put the strategy in place, to see the big picture, but to never forget that the goal is not actually the object. It's the journey towards the goal, because every time you reach a goal, you set a new one, right? And you start a new journey. And so 2 helps us to nourish ourselves, to know that we need to have self-care so that we can care for others while we are on this journey of reaching our goals and realizing our potential. The hero today is the 9. 9 in the hero position helps us to strongly connect to our intuition. 9 is the most intuitively connected number, and so 9s can cut right through to the truth. So 9 might say to you, you know what, you're not really after the 10 kilograms. What you're really after is deepening your relationship with your partner, and you are thinking that 10 kilograms less on your body is going to do that. But in actuality, 10 kilograms is not going to make any difference, because your issues stretch beyond what you look like. That's 9. So sometimes that truth can be a bit harsh. Now, that doesn't mean we don't try and lose the 10 kilos, right? It just makes you understand that losing the 10 kilos is not actually necessarily going to give you what you want in the relationship. And maybe what you want in the relationship is more honest communication, and that's the gift that the 9 can give you. 9 looks at the world curiously and with very little judgment. So that's why 9s can see so clearly, because they can see through all the fluff. And because it's in the hero position, that particular characteristic is extremely strong today. The villain today is a 3, and the 3 in the villain position makes us easily distracted. So just as 3 in the main persona part of the life, I'm getting all confused. Just as the 3 in the root of the life map is focused and it's strategic and it's focusing on the long-term plan, when we have 3 in the villain position, then we have a tendency to become distracted. We get distracted by low priority. So it doesn't mean that you don't do anything. It doesn't mean you sit on social media all day. But what it can mean is that you can spend the whole day being really busy doing a lot of stuff that actually doesn't move the needle toward your goal. So you can be very busy with all sorts of distractions, but you're not actually advancing towards your goal in any way. So that's what we have to guard against today. Safety energy lock number 3 is located on the middle finger. So I just want to say one other thing, because it's the 30th, but we only have 26 safety energy locks. So we can look at the 3, which is the door of understanding. We can look at the 12, which is here in the center of the neck, which is aligning our will with divine will. And we can look at 21, which is here on the face, on the cheekbone, and that is about escaping from mental bondage. So if you've got safety energy lock number 3 open, it opens the door of understanding. And when you understand how universal law works, then it becomes easier for you to align your will with divine will. And once you've done that, then you free yourself from the mental prisons that you have put up by your skewed perceptions. So safety energy lock number 3 and 12 are both located on the middle finger. So if you hold the middle finger today, you'll be harmonizing safety energy lock number 3 as well as safety energy lock number 12. And if you want to work on 21 more, then you can hold the thumb, because that's where safety energy lock 21 is. So middle finger, remember, harmonizes the liver and gallbladder organ function energies. The attitude associated with that is anger. It's deep-seated anger or disappointment or frustration. So that arises because we don't have the door of understanding open. We're not keeping our nourishment and our waste excretion in balance. We're also not giving other people the benefit of the perception that they have both sides, and that in fact all people have all characteristics. So when we do that, then we start placing judgments on things, and then we're no longer aligning our will with divine will. And when we think there's a certain way that things should be and that everyone should conform to what we believe is true, well, then we actually create the mental bondage associated with safety energy lock number 21. So if you hold your middle finger, you will harmonize the anger, the frustration, the resentment, and instead of flipping the finger, you'll hold the finger and you'll navigate your day a whole lot more smoothly. I hope you have an amazing Monday, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.